So to kick it off, I'm going to ask the very first panelist to give us a short introduction of herself, Polly Hollyoak, author and educator. And I'm also going to ask each panelist in their short introductions to maybe share a little something, a little fact that's surprising about them. Thank you. And Polly, please do introduce yourself.
Thank you, Koshi. I'm so excited to be here. So my professional background, I was a 7th grade social studies teacher. And the great thing about teaching is you have summers free. And so in the summers, as much as I love my kids, I really didn't want to teach summer school. So I decided I'd just write books. So I wrote fantasy novels and I wrote romance novels. And then I got this idea for a dystopian novel because I was concerned about climate change. I thought, what if I could write a book about kids who are genetically engineered to go live in the ocean because life is so tough for people on land? So that was this really wild idea that came into my head. But the problem was I didn't begin to know enough science to be able to write this book because I'd been a history major in college. So I had to learn about marine biology and genetics and climate change. And I did the research, and I guess I did a pretty good job because this book ended up, the Neptune Project is on the Texas Bluebonnet list, and the American Association for the Advancement of Sciences recommended it as a good science-based read for kids. So slide, please. Based on that, I started getting these great speaking engagements. So I went all over the country talking about STEAM issues to older kids and teaching about dolphins and the ocean food chain to younger ones. Slide, please. Next. And then I got invitations to go cool places like Hawaii and Florida when my book made state reading lists there. And I also got to indulge, I love teaching writing in general and getting kids to use their imaginations. So that's me teaching kids writing workshops down in the Rio Grande Valley. So I have been so fortunate to have in my professional background these two skills of writing and teaching. But the STEM elements in the Neptune books is really what gave them extra staying power. And it's all been a ton of fun. And then my one weird fact about me is the fact I was actually bitten by a rattlesnake. And the fact I was the first aid mom for my Girl Scout troop. I actually knew the exact first aid that you're supposed to do. So I did the first aid myself, and I'm still here. So that's me.
Thank you, Polly, and I'm so glad that worked out well. I had no idea that had happened to you. Next in our panel is Dr. Mumta Jain, infectious disease specialist at UT Southwestern Medical Center.
Hi, my name is Mumta Jain. I am a professor of internal medicine at UT Southwestern, and I specialize in infectious diseases. So the reason that I enjoy what I do in academic medicine is just because of the variety of what I can do. I run, I'm going to show the next slide, I run clinical trials and various therapeutics. Most recently, I've been running clinical trials in COVID-19, but I've done trials in hepatitis B and C and influenza and HIV. And so there's an opportunity to bring novel therapeutics to patients that have diseases, infectious diseases. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work. But regardless, it improves our knowledge and helps us to understand how we can further improve science and outcomes for patients. But that's not all that I do. I also do write grants and implement programs. So the next slide. So before COVID, I spent a lot of my time in the world of hepatitis C. We have a grant with CPRIT to kind of increase testing for hepatitis C in the state of Texas. And we are doing that in federally qualified health centers in South Texas, and also through a mobile unit that goes through rural Texas to provide Hep C testing. So this is actually in Tarrant County where we did a health fair. And we provide free testing because hepatitis C is a disease now that we can cure, but we can't cure people if they don't know they have it. So you have to first test them and then link them to treatment. And then this other pictures of me and two of our residents and our pharmacy pharmacist who helped pull data together on the first 500 patients that we treated in our viral hepatitis clinic with the new curative hepatitis C treatments. And so that's one of the fun parts of being in my field, is that I get to work with residents and develop new knowledge. And then finally, the next slide, I also take care of patients in the hospital and in the clinic, providing care for various infectious diseases. And so that's what I enjoy doing. I like the variety. I get to write academic papers, and I also get to take care of patients. So I was thinking about something different about myself. I'll go back to middle school, and I have to say that in middle school, I'm not sure that I would have classified myself as a math and science student, but what I really enjoyed doing was reading, and I would always kind of escape to my room to read, but I wasn't reading the Odyssey or anything like that. I was reading Harlequin romances. I loved romance stories. That was my favorite thing to read. So yeah, I read a lot of Jency novels, but that's what I did.
Thank you, Mumta. So there you go, a leading researcher in COVID-19, but, Harlequin romances, that's somewhat almost universal. I know I read my share. Next, we have Lynn McBee, who is a scientist, CEO of Young Women's Preparatory Network, as well as the chair of board for EarthX, and these are just some of the various positions that she holds. Thank you for being here, Lynn.
Thank you, Koshi. I'm so excited to be here with everyone this morning. I am a scientist. I had a degree in biochemistry and was a biochemist for many years, but currently I am the CEO of Young Women's Preparatory Network. We're a network of 10 public all-girls schools across the state of Texas. We're based here in Dallas. Our girls are from underserved populations, most being the first generation to go to college, and some being the first generation to graduate from high school. Our schools have a focus on STEM, leadership, and going to college, so things that I'm all very passionate about. I do wear lots of hats. One of my other hats is I am chairman of the board of EarthX. And EarthX is based right here in Dallas, and we are the largest platform for the environmental area. We bring all sides together, the right and the left, Republicans and Democrats, everyone together to work to find sustainable solutions for our future and our environment. We recently launched EarthX TV, which I hope I get to share with you a little bit later, but it's a very large platform. We're an international organization at this point, and would love to have, since we know that Generation Z is the one that is most interested in the environment, when we do polls, people that are 25 and under, this is their number one issue. So we're real excited to get the youth that are on the phone involved in this work. So I wear lots of hats. I'm honored to be here this morning. And I guess a strange, maybe just, and I haven't told you to move the slide. So this is me with some of the girls around the state. As I said, we have 10 different schools. The girls in the left are up from our Talkington School in Lubbock. And, of course, our school here, some of you might know of it. It's Irma Ronhell. It's over near Fair Park. And it's on U.S. News World Report Best of. And since we've been founded, 100% of our girls have graduated from high school and 100% have been accepted to college. And we have an amazing amount of scholarship dollars that goes with these really incredible young women. So I don't know, Coach, if there's another slide, but if there is, you can, yep, and there's just more. That was an event we took. We had the girls at all the different schools write essays on what leadership meant to them. And then when Michelle Obama was in town, she actually did a one-on-one with the girls that were selected. And these were some of the girls that were selected, and they had a one-on-one that day with her. So really giving these girls from different backgrounds, not privileged backgrounds, the opportunity to learn to really reach their fullest potential. So it's been really awesome work. I think that's probably it on the slides. And my one, I don't know if it's a strange fact, it's something I enjoy, which probably will catch most people by surprise. I enjoy deep sea fishing. So I go out and deep sea fish. So there you go.
Thank you, Lynn. And again, I'm learning new things about all four panelists through this discussion. That's so great. I had no idea you did that. Thanks so much. Next, the fourth panelist, last but definitely not the least, Dr. Dipali Polter, is a STEMinist. I love that noun, and also head of West Europe Research and Development for PepsiCo. Thanks for being here, Dipali.
Thank you. If you go to the next slide. So I'm Dipali, and I'm actually going to start with my weird fact first. So my name is Dipali because I was actually born on Diwali, which is the one of the biggest festivals we have in India. So while everybody in my family is named with an S, automatically, just in the hospital itself, my name just became Dipali. And weirdly, when I actually came to US from India, I am born on Halloween. So I get to celebrate two birthdays and festivals, if you will. So as Koshi said, Dipali, I am a wife, I am a dog mom, I am a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a scientist, and I'm a STEMinist. STEMinist, if you didn't know, STEMinist is someone who advocates for attracting both men and women in the areas of STEM, especially girls. So I'm very proud to do my part to now be a mentor for getting more people in science and technology. Because I got to tell you, in middle school, I hated math. Hopefully, we'll get to talk about that more. But in my job side, I have been with PepsiCo. You may also know it as Frito-Lay. People actually know more our brands than they know the actual company. So Lay's, Gatorade, Tropicana juice, that's all part of the company I work for. And I have a really cool job because I get to make chips. In addition to making chips, we also get to work on how to help with climate change by thinking about biodegradable and compostable packaging. And if you thought that's all what a scientist or engineer does, well, PepsiCo actually ended up sending me to Africa too to work on clean water. So as a scientist, your possibilities are endless. So if you go to the next slide, I will just leave you with this on my introduction to say, where you see a potato chip, I see a science and curiosity treasure chest. Because it's not just a crispy little thing. To get that crispiness, there's quite a lot of science and math involved. So if you're ever curious about how potato chips are so STEMmy, just hit me up on LinkedIn and we'll have a chat. Thank you.